If you have a network connection between sites that is slow, unreliable, or costly, you might find it necessary to add another domain controller at a remote location or branch office. In this scenario, it is often better to deploy ADDS to a server by installing it from media rather than by deploying it over the network. For example, if you connect to a server that is in a remote office and use Server Manager to install ADDS, the entire ADDS database and the sysfil folder will copy to the new domain controller over a potentially unreliable WAN connection. Alternatively, to significantly reduce the amount of traffic moving over the WAN link, you can create a backup of ADDS, perhaps to a USB drive, and take this backup to the remote location. When you are at the remote location and run Server Manager to install ADDS, you can select the Install for Media option. Most of the copying then occurs locally. In this scenario, only security-related traffic uses the WAN link. The WN link also helps ensure that the new domain controller receives any changes made to the central ADDS after you created the Install for Media backup. To install a domain controller by installing for media, browse to a domain controller that is not an RODC. Use the sudo command line tool to create a snapshot of the ADDS database, and then copy the snapshot to the server that you will promote to a domain controller. Use Server Manager to promote the server to a domain controller by selecting the Install for Media option and then providing the local path to the Install for Media directory that you previously created. The procedure is as follows. 1. On the full domain controller, at an administrative command prompt, type the following commands, where c:\ifm is the destination directory that will contain the snapshot of the ADDS database. Tudstill. Activate instance in TDS. ifm. Create sysfil full c:\ifm. 2. On the server that you are promoting to a domain controller, perform the following steps. A. Use Server Manager to add the ADDS role. B. Wait while the ADDS files install. C. In Server Manager, click the notification icon, and then under Post-Deployment Configuration, click Promote this server to a domain controller. The Active Directory Domain Services Configuration Wizard runs. D. On the appropriate page of the wizard, select the Install for Media option, and then provide the local path to the snapshot directory. ADDS installs from the snapshot. 3. Note that when the domain controller restarts, it contacts the other domain controllers in the domain and updates ADDS with any changes made after the creation of the snapshot. Additional reading. For more information on the steps required to install ADDS, refer to Install Active Directory Domain Services, Level 100, at http://aka.ms/rvcwlz.